audio. Turn down your audio. Alright, that is the best warning I can give you. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I said turn down your audio. You might be noticing that this is a lot louder, because I actually found the problem with my audio. At first I thought it was just that my microphone wasn't doing that good, and that's why it would stop effectively every time I said anything. But, although I think it'll still do that, to a lesser extent now, because it turns out the microphone on my camera was just kind of forcing itself over my headphone microphone. What I ended up doing is basically disabling everything except my computer's physical ability to use microphones, and as a result it just has to default to this microphone. For whatever reason, it views the one on my headphones as simultaneously not existing. It knows that they exist as headphones, but it doesn't seem to realize that there's a microphone attached. And also the lowest quality option as well. It's the same with any sound. Like if I have a Bluetooth speaker in, it defaults to the Bluetooth speaker, even if the Bluetooth speaker is off. Anyways, there's problems. But I figured them out, and I'm forcing it to use my headphones right now, which means the audio should be great. And I actually made a rage about this, which I might upload or I might not, I don't know. But the problem was that I could sit away. How do I put this? I could sit as far away as I wanted, and I still wouldn't. Well, and you'd still hear the stream, what you're currently looking at, way before you'd hear me, which is a moderately large problem when trying to record these things. It's also why the audio was so bad, and why like the people going over that bridge sounded like gunshots. I can't really re-record these at this point, but all the ones from here on will sound like wonderful, wonderful things. Yeah, if I tried to re-record them, whenever I re-record videos, like 20 minutes becomes 2 minutes. So yeah, that's a problem. And it loses some of its authentic quality. The rants go away and all that. Except when I re-recorded Philosophy 3. That was just an entirely different video. I wasn't trying to restate the same things because the video got corrupted. So the main topic of this vlog, other than the audio being amazing now, well, that and the fact that you have to turn your audio down, is that because, you know, my face is like, my mouth is like 2 inches from the thing, and I'm not a very quiet person either. So, alright, so I guess this is an experience. I was tempted to make this a different series entirely, talking about these kind of things, but then I realized, more or less, experiences is what the vlogs are supposed to be about, even if I rip other things away from them, like how I made the Rage series. It's, you know, I'm gonna leave things which happened to me and my thoughts about them. That's personal thoughts, and that's updates and general thoughts, I think is what I called it. That's what this is. I'm not gonna put the little transition slide in there every single time. That's pretty much what this is left. I'm tempted to make a different series out of channel news, but I might just leave that to the vlogs. Just like to have a reason for there to be vlogs. I don't know, but this part will stay vlogs. So what happened to me? I had 2 transactions which I'm thinking about right now. I bought things, but not from a store. One was a garage sale, one was a Craigslist ad. Anyways, I am from the northern regions of a country which you should be able to guess, namely by the fact that I'm speaking English, and with a, I don't know if you want to call it a particular accent or a particular lack of accent, but I am speaking English, obviously natively, and like with a non-European accent that gives me like 3 countries. So, whatchamacallit, anyways, I'm from the northern regions of one of those countries. Guess which one? Oh, and I'm from the northern regions of one of these countries that doesn't have, like, nobody in the north. I was in a very populated north. So there you go. Half of me wants to just come out right and say it, but it's about not just giving away information is one important thing. Anyways, in the north, I got used to, with garage sales and with Craigslist ads, more or less what happens is they put up a high bid, I lowball them, and then we end up in the middle. So in this case, I was buying a thing. It was $15. As it happened, I only had 13. So in the end, I ended up just offering 13 because the guy looked all dejected after I said I don't have $15, but and I wasn't sure if he'd accept a $10 lowball. But what I'm used to is more or less they offer it for 20, meaning they want 15, meaning I offer 10 and we meet in the middle. But the guy looked all dejected. Now, I should preface, the guy had a really heavy accent. Kind of generally Eastern European. Might be Russian, but then it might be Ukrainian, or it might be like Turkish for all I'm not a good judge of accents, okay? So, Eastern European accent, and maybe it's just like a thing from where he grew up, like you offer a thing on whatever the Eastern European Craigslist is, you offer a thing up for sale and you're expected to just pay that amount, which is fine. If I were raised in a place which said, like, I want 15, so I'm going to price it 15 and you're going to pay 15, I'm sure that seemed natural to me, but it doesn't. What seems natural to me is I want 15, so I'm going to price it 20, and the person's going to come to buy it, it's going to offer me 10, and we're going to pay 15 in the end. But anyways, and this happened again, although a little, maybe like a week ago, with an old man at a garage sale, and he offered like these outrageous prices for like really simple things, like he was pointing out, like, here's a blanket, it's $20, and I was like, yeah, I'm sure it is. So anyways, but I wasn't totally lowballing him. I was offering him, like, there was a thing I wanted. It was kind of like a plate, but anyways, it's the kind of thing that you can put in a microwave, ceramic, but it had, like, anyways, I wanted it. He was offering $2. I pulled out a dollar coin and said I'd give it to him. He looked all dejected. Now, to be fair, I've seen that before. That might just be I'm a feeble old man, you shouldn't take advantage of me like this, young whippersnapper. That might just be that act. And I didn't think about it more at the time. But now that I've dealt with the Eastern European guy, I'm wondering if that's just like the culture of, for reference, I should say, all right, well, I already said in the Denver video, I'm like within a few hours of Denver. Yeah. So center-ish of the country. I'm a little west of it, because Denver is, it's about as far away from, in my rough estimate, it seems that Denver is about as far away from the West Coast as Chicago, say, is from the East Coast. I think to say the actual middle of the country would be to say somewhere between Denver and Chicago. So yeah, even though we generally tend to think of the west side as everything past the Rockies seems to be more like the west third. Yeah, what was this about? Yes, so I'm sort of generally in the center of the nation, but I don't, anyway, so I'm not sure if this is just sort of a central, I was about to say the country, a central region thing rather than a northerner thing. I don't know. I don't know if I was a jerk, like if offering the guy, the Eastern European guy, $13 and for his thing, which was a decent price actually. 15 was a decent price, but I was thinking like, oh wow, 13, I might just get that for 10. That's a great price. 15's like, I guess that's better than new. So anyways, I like buying it at the store. It's the same with the thing he wanted. It was a decent price. 2 wouldn't have been, but it's the kind of thing where, like, I'm not sure if I was a jerk, if I was like just totally breaking protocol, and like, I don't know, I'm kind of wondering if that's a thing. Like, are you expected to pay what they ask for? Is that actually a thing? That just seems so unnatural to me. Like, I say that's $2. That doesn't mean that's $2. That means in an ideal world where money grew on trees, I would get 2 leaf dollars from you rather than a single. That doesn't actually mean I expect $2 for this. That just means that's the starting price. The starting price goes way down, and then you push, and then the seller tries to push it up as much as they can. That's not to say it always does the whole starting offer 20, low bid 10, and then meet at 15. Depending on the skills of the two involved, it might go higher or lower, depending. Of course, it depends on what attributes each person can pull out. Like how I mentioned earlier, I'm an old man, you shouldn't do this to me, you young whippersnapper. In the same token, as a little kid, when I'd go to garage sales, I'd use I'm a cute little kid, you should sell this to me for lower because my allowance is $2 a week, or $2 a month. When I was young enough, but because it came in the form of 200 pennies, and I was young enough to think that was a lot. And of course, at that point in time too, they would lowball it anyways because I'm a cute little kid, or I was, and then I would bargain them from like 75 cents or whatever they'd offer for a thing worth $1 to something like 71 cents or something, because again, 200 pennies is what I'm working with. 200 penny, and then there's also stuff like buying 6 things at once and then effectively just not paying for a 7th, because like else, you grab 10 things, you say I'll pay you $30 for all of this, and they say no, that's not enough for all these things. So you set back one of the bulk items, and you're like, all right, deal's still on the table. They said if they say no again, then you drop it $5 and you put away another one of the big things. For reference, you should grab 2 or 3 big things you just don't want. You might get them, but you shouldn't expect it. So like you grab a lamp or something like that, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll put the lamp back, and now it's 25. Yeah, so yeah, like you grab a lamp, you grab a fancy china set or something like that. Well, that would probably be a big box item. You grab something that's priced at like $5, and then you just put it back when they say no, I'm not going to accept that deal. And then you as time goes on, you lower your offer, and you also set stuff back until eventually they just accept it. And in the end, you'll end up. That's what I considered one of my best tools in my arsenal when going to garage sales. I'd end up paying $20, and I'd still usually end up with 1 or 2 things which I just didn't even need. But then I'd paid $5 for them. And if I still wanted goodwill with this person, like I was going to go put my stuff back and then come back with more money, or just like an empty, so I could come back and get more stuff. I'd say like, you know what? I don't feel right about this price, and then give them back the lamp or whatever that you don't need and don't even know where you're going to put it, or how much, or how you're going to get it home. That kind of, like, you'd put that back, and then that would tell them like, hey, they feel like they're outbidding me. Of course, that's not actually what they think consciously, but they think subconsciously like, this person wants to give me a fair deal, even though it's not that way at all. And to be fair, that's the same with sales. The reason, I guess I should say, the thing with the old man and with the Eastern European guy seems so natural to me is it's mutual. It's not just like, as a buyer, I'm trying to screw them out of their fair price. As the seller, they're trying to screw me out of my money. If we're both smart about it, well, I'll end up paying a fair price, and they'll end up getting a fair price for their item. But that doesn't mean, it's completely one-sided. It's just, I don't know if I just got into 2 weird situations, the old man and the Eastern Russian guy, or Eastern, like Turkish, whatever, Eastern European guy. I'm going to move the camera Rare thing, but I'm going to move the camera. I know I'm not supposed to. I said I wouldn't, but there is a dog. There he is. Whatever. You can't see him. You know what? I'll move the camera like that, so if he comes back around, you'll be able to see him. There's a huge stick in there. Oh, and you can't see that. I'll just do that. You've seen it for long enough. You know what it is. There. Let's try and stabilize it. So, if it looks crooked, it probably is, but it's as stable as I can get, and the thing is, the ground isn't actually stable right now. I'm on something of a slight hill, and it slopes off in like a 1-degree angle in both directions. So, anyways, maybe if it's a little better. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm doing this wrong. If like the whole buyer tries to screw the seller and seller tries to screw the buyer thing. I don't know if that's like just not a thing here. Did I grow up in a meaner place? Honestly, it seems like people have gotten meaner as I moved south. Then again, I've heard stories from people in northern places like Maine and New Jersey and New York and places like that, although that's East Coast and different. I wasn't East Coast. I was just generally north, not either one of the coasts. So when I moved south, people seem to get meaner, but I hear things from people like New Jersey where where like they're really just like downright mean to each other. Anyways, so it wouldn't fit with everything else I've seen if people are just supposed to be nicer about buying and selling things. But on the other hand, it wouldn't. On the other hand, I don't know how to think about this situation. Well, yeah, I guess that's that. That's a video. I'm about to record in a second here one of the Goodreads book review. First one, second one actually total, but first one since the new setup, and certainly the first one since I think it was like not early winter. Crap. Yeah. Wow. All right. So yeah, first one in a long time and second one ever. Yeah, I recommend watching that because that one's going to be, it's a different thing this time. It's not about a book I really liked or about a book I just finished because I've forgotten a lot of those. I've read a lot of books. And then at the same time, I don't read books I know a lot of people pick up a book, then that's their book for the next several months or weeks or days. But, that's not me. I pick up a book, that's my book for the next day, maybe 3 days, and then it's another book. Even if I'm not done. Eventually, I finish most books I start. This one, I'm going to be talking about why I didn't. So I recommend you go and watch Book Talk number 2. Yeah, so enjoy the... Oh, yeah, I'm keeping the dogs for the vlogs. I'm keeping the dogs. I just like them. I have other dogs and stuff recorded, which might end up being an outro for something else. But I just like that dog thing, and it happened on, like, day 5 of this. So I feel like, at this point, it's basically a tradition on its own. So the vlogs get outroed with the dogs, so enjoy the dogs. All right, so I suppose he's saying goodbye for us.